Good morning, my name is Matthew Hugo from Weather Commerce, and this is this morning's weather briefing on Thursday the 10th of March. Today's weather brief will cover a summary on the West European 5-day average temperatures, the UK, Europe, Scandinavian precipitation, and finally global weather alerts. Firstly, we'll summarise the latest mean temperatures across Europe, and starting with the 11 to 15 day time frame. And some central areas of Europe, including Austria and also down into Italy, are forecast to have temperatures around 3 or 4 degrees below climate averages. However, elsewhere, the majority of temperatures are forecast to be near, if not just slightly below climate norms by around 1 or 2 degrees. Also, please note that the best performing model is represented in yellow, and the climate averages is the temperature within the centre of the pie charts. And within the 6 to 10 day time frame, there is good model agreement and consistency for temperatures to be very near to climate averages, though perhaps trending slightly below climate averages by 1 or 2 degrees across more central areas of Europe, including Austria and perhaps also down into Italy. And within the short term, over the next 2 to 5 days, confidence levels are high for temperatures to be around 3 or 4 degrees above climate averages across parts of Benelux, Germany, Switzerland and also into France, as a mild, or if not very mild, south or southwesterly air mass dominates across these areas. Elsewhere, temperatures are forecast to be generally near, if not just slightly below climate norms. And now taking a look at the United Kingdom in some more detail. And confidence levels are high given good model agreement and consistency for temperatures to be near, if not just slightly below climate averages by around 1 degree Celsius over the next 2 to 5 days. Into the start of next week, and there is good model consistency and agreement between the GFS ensembles and deterministic, as well as the EC deterministic ensembles, for temperatures to become around 2 if not 3 degrees below a climate mean of 7 degrees Celsius. This drop in temperature is forecast due to a cold north or northeasterly air mass temporarily developing across the United Kingdom, and the following weather chart helps to illustrate this synoptic situation. It should be noted that I have low confidence in the Metro forecast model, which signals a milder outlook into the early part of next week, and there is no model agreement for temperatures to be near climate averages. And finally, within the long term, model consistency and agreement continues today, and as a result I have medium to high confidence to suggest that temperatures will be generally near, if not just slightly below climate averages by around 1 or 2 degrees. Now taking a look at the expected temperatures across Europe, and within the 11 to 15 day time frame, with the exception of some central areas of Europe, including Austria, where temperatures are forecast to be generally below climate averages, the remainder of Europe is forecast to have temperatures near, if not just slightly below climate norms. Taking a look at the Austrian model comparison graph, and within the longer term, beyond the weekend of the 19th and 20th, you will see there is very good model agreement for temperatures to become around 2 to 4 degrees below climate averages. Within the 6 to 10 day time frame, model agreement and consistency continues to be good today for temperatures to be generally near climate averages. As a result, there is relatively high confidence as well to suggest that no extremes of temperatures are expected within the 6 to 10 day time frame. And as an example, using the Benelux model comparison graph, you can see that throughout the entire forecast period there is good or very good model agreement for temperatures to be generally near to climate averages. And over the next 2 to 5 days, confidence levels are high for central areas of Europe in particular, including Benelux, Germany, France and Switzerland, to have temperatures generally 2 or 3 degrees above climate averages, as a mild, if not very mild, south or southwesterly air mass dominates across these areas. And now taking a look at the expected precipitation totals across Scandinavia, and over the next 5 to 7 days, with the exception of southern areas of Norway and also central areas of Finland, precipitation totals are forecast to be generally above climate averages. More western and northwestern areas of Norway in particular may experience up to and over 125 millimetres of rainfall, as low pressure dominates the weather and brings unsettled conditions. This is up to and over 400% of climate norms. And also looking within the longer term, towards and beyond mid-March, the likely trend is many western and northern areas of Norway, Sweden and also Finland to have precipitation totals generally near to climate averages. However, more central and southern areas of Scandinavia may well experience generally slightly below precipitation totals as high pressure becomes influential. And now looking at global weather alerts, which highlight significant deviations from normal. And starting with Australia, there is good model agreement that the next 7 to 10 days in particular are forecast to be very wet indeed across many northern areas of the country, as precipitation totals exceed 400 to 600% of normal. This is in association with an increasingly unsettled synoptic pattern, which may produce precipitation totals up to and over 200mm. There continues to be a signal within the forecast models for many central and northern regions of China to continue to experience very cold conditions over the next 7 to 14 days. Temperatures across many central and northern provinces are forecast to be at least -5 to -10, but locally down to -15 degrees Celsius, which is at least 6 to 8 degrees below climate averages. There is also expected to be quite a contrast in precipitation totals across southern areas of Brazil. Over the next 5 to 7 days, well above average precipitation totals are forecast, with perhaps up to 100mm, yet during and beyond mid-March, high pressure is forecast to become more influential, and as a result, below or well below average precipitation totals are then forecast. And finally, some exceptionally wet conditions are expected across many areas of the Pacific Northwest of the United States, with perhaps up to 6 to 7 inches of rainfall with a high risk of localised flooding. Some heavy precipitation is also forecast across eastern states as low pressure dominates the weather here as well. Thank you for listening to today's weather brief. Goodbye.